Welcome everybody to the 2020-2021 Winter Athletic Awards. Today we have an interview with the Director of Athletics, Ms. Blair. So we're just going to be saying these questions. If you didn't know me and Zane from the commentary, here we are once again. We had a great time doing that this year, and so let's just get started.
Yeah.
So Zane, here's the first question.
Absolutely. So first question we have for you, Ms. Trail, kind of speaking about rosters this year, kind of how many teams, how many rosters or kids were there playing, this year, how many teams were there, and were there any new coaches that participated in winter sports this year?
Okay, so we had 9 teams competing this winter. 7 were basketball teams, and we had 2 swim teams. We had 45 middle school student athletes and 46 upper school student athletes, so a total of 91 student athletes. And we had a new swim coach, our varsity swim coach, Austin Chris, former swimmer and alum here at North Cross, and his enthusiasm and energy was contagious. The swimmers really enjoyed having him, a very positive coach, so we're glad that he's back with us.
All right, second question. Obviously there was a lot of holdbacks and problems because of COVID this year, so what was different about this year compared to years before?
The biggest difference was not being able to have spectators at indoor events. We're used to our parents and our friends being able to come in and cheer us on, and so that was definitely different. It was sort of a quiet atmosphere. Of course, there were some positives that came out of it, being the live stream that we were able to do. The students being tested weekly, student athletes being tested weekly, I think that was tough because they then had to sit there and wait for that result to come back. Whether it was just 24 hours, it seemed like days and weeks, and you're waiting on that result to see what the next step is. So that was different. Our players couldn't really use the locker rooms like they typically do. It's sort of a place where you can hang out and get pumped and listen to music for a game, and it's just a place where you can draw plays up on the whiteboard. And this year we could only allow 6 players in the locker room at a time, so that was different. And I would say, overall, our kids were very positive and handled it very well. So they seem like maybe negatives, but at the same time, our kids turned them into positives.
So next question we have for you, obviously there being so much uncertainty this year, kind of what was the same this season compared to seasons prior?
So, I'm in my office when some of the middle school student athletes come over, and their energy and excitement for practice and being able to hang out with their friends and compete, that was still the same. They came in like they always do, like nothing was different. And our coaches preparing for practices and games, they still put 100% into each practice plan, and they had to do a little bit extra. They had to meet our return to play manual guidelines, conference guidelines, and state guidelines. So the effort, the enthusiasm, still there from both the athletes and coaches.
All right, next question. What was something good that came out of this year from the Winter Athletics?
We learned that if we put our minds to something that we could do it. We could do it successfully. At first, you always want to say, "Oh my gosh, we have to do this, this, and this. It's going to be so different." But really, everybody embraced the changes and rolled with it. And our student athletes, they were never negative. They had to put a mask on to play in a basketball game. I never heard anyone complain because they wanted to compete so badly. We were able to purchase new equipment to do live streaming, and that was special because alums, grandparents, cousins, folks that don't even live in the area were able to watch our kids play. So that was special.
So last question for you, is there anyone you would like to thank after this winter season?
Definitely. One, the coaches who never gave up when protocols were being changed. It seemed like daily. The parents for being flexible and positive. They could easily question or complain about what we were having to do over here, but they didn't. They were just glad that their children were being given an opportunity to play. So that made it very nice. Zach, Ryan, and Chris Pollock for pulling off and allowing us to do the go live. Coach Pollock put in some really long days. You know, he's here at 7:30 teaching a class and then staying till 9:30 to help stream a basketball game. So that's much appreciated. Tracy Schaefer, who is on top of the details. I mean, she is right behind Chris and I, reminding us of all the little things that need to be taken care of, and we couldn't do it without her. And then finally, the two of you, for being our home game announcers. You made us so proud because the amount of positive feedback we received was crazy awesome. Not only from our own parents, but it was such a good feeling to have other athletic directors and parents reach out to me and just say what a wonderful job you did. So we appreciate it.
All right, so those are all the questions we had today. We'd like to thank the Director of Athletics, Ms. Blair Trail. So signing off, I'm Drew Slemp.
I'm Zane Ratliff.
And now we're going to send you guys to the speeches of all the coaches from the winter sports.